Hello there, Trevor here from Double Bill Movies. Okay, so it's time for an actual double bill. While I was on holiday a few weeks ago, I was in a charity shop and I managed to find a steelbook of a film that I had never seen before, but I had seen the remake of. It's a lovely steelbook, and it is The Day the Earth Stood Still. What an incredible film, I have to say. Like I said, the first time I'd ever seen it, so I've been really enjoying the old 50s black and white films like The Fly and Invasion of the Body Snatchers and that kind of thing. And to finally get to see The Day the Earth Stood Still was a real pleasure. So the sets for the inside of the ship was really nice. I love the way that Klaatu has to just sort of swipe his hand over the controls, kind of like we do now, to get things done in the ship. And of course the big robot, you know, not as big as the one in the remake, but still it looks great and it's really well done. So Klaatu, the way he acts amongst the humans is very human, but there's something missing, isn't there? There's kind of not emotions, because he cares, but there's just something about him that doesn't quite sit right. And I like the way he does things with the young lad, and it's very sad when the young lad takes him to the grave, and you know, he can't help. Yeah, just an incredible film. Images look good, as you can see here. This is them inside the house, and then the interior of the ship here. Just a really well put together film. I think if Klaatu was played the way that Keanu Reeves plays him in the remake, I think it would have been too dark. I think it would have been a bit too scary for the 1950s. I think because of the message the film is trying to put across, and you know, essentially it still stands today, but that message is don't go into space too much and do certain things, but it's also about just looking after ourselves, looking after the planet that we inhabit, because we don't own the planet, it's not ours, we just inhabit it, and we have to share it with all the other beings and creatures, and plants and trees and things. So we need to look after it so that we as a race live longer, survive longer. So to the remake, I was really pleased to see John Cleese's name in the bill, and here he is playing the scientist that Klaatu sort of finishes the equation, those huge scientific equations that you see on the boards, and Klaatu helps him to finish that off. So if you've seen my collection video for my 20th Century Fox Blu-rays, then you probably saw this in there. Yes, it has a slip. It could be a bit more light. There we go. You know, I've been collecting slips from back then, and this was second hand, so you know, I missed out when it first came out, but when I started to realise I like slips, then I had to hunt one down. That's quite menacing there, the big robot, which is clearly vastly different from the one in the 50s film. But I like here where they managed to sort of contain him underground, just for a little while. You know, it's containing him like this is a little bit like Superman in the Man of Steel with handcuffs on, isn't it? You know, not really going to work, is it? But you know, you've got to allow the humans to believe that they're doing something right. But at the end of the day, No, not really. So yeah, I can see why people didn't like Keanu Reeves' performance in this, but I think it's perfect. I think it's really, really good performance. And, you know, maybe if people think he's a bit of a wooden actor, maybe that's why he was so good for the part. You've got the fact that he appears human, but of course, you know, they approach him differently at the beginning of the film. And I like the way these remakes can do that. That, you know, obviously he's an alien, but he's seen how humans are and figures, well, I'm going to do my job better if I'm one of them. And again, it's actually really sad when the young lad played by Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son, and his, you know, his stepmother, I guess, Jennifer Conelly, when I forget Jaden's character's name, but, you know, he takes him to the grave and he's hoping to get his dad back, and because he's seen the sort of the healing powers that Klaatu has, and, you know, that's equally sad in both films. So there you go. There's my sort of double bill. Let me show you the Steelbook again in the proper light. There we go. You know, I know there's a Blu-ray of this out there, but this is a 2-disc set. I think disc 2 has the bonus stuff on it, and there is a booklet in there as well. Let's take the booklet out, shall we? Oh, it's more of a leaflet. Hello. I love that poster. It's amazing artwork. I'll put that back in a minute. And there was a 20th Century Fox Presents Cinema Reserve. So there were a bunch of steelbooks that came out. I used to have the pattern one, but I got rid of it. And there's the inside. Are you seeing that? Yeah, the inside of the steelbook. So if you haven't seen it before, if you were put off by the remake, then seriously get the 1950s one and watch that, and I think you'll be really impressed. The whole chase scene, there's a big chase scene, which is sort of depicted in the remake, but there's a big chase scene, and yes, there's some sort of rear projection techniques used, but most of it is actually real filming through the streets at night, and you know, it looks really good for film, and you know, for how early in the world of cinema it is, really. You know, it's only sort of 20 or 30 years, and just obviously the close-ups of the army reporting what they're seeing are just, you know, they're done differently, but the chase scenes are brilliant. So really, really well constructed film. It sounded really good. There is a 5.1 mix on here. I don't know if you can see that. And actually, I watched it in the 5.1 mix. I thought, you know what, let's give it a go. And they have done a really, really stellar job. I think you'll find sounds have been added to help enhance what's already there. Because sometimes when you do a mono to surround mix, it's just pointless. So the only way really to achieve it is to just add sounds, but they're blended in so nicely that you don't notice it, and you really feel immersed in the film. So there you go. If you like that video, give it a thumbs up. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Check out the other double bills and check out all my other playlists. I've got some pretty interesting content on there. And I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.